Hey everyone, this is DizzyPW, opening up our first OnRPG podcast, and today we're going to be talking about TERA, political systems, and MMO, and the concept of introducing cash shops into the pay-to-play model. And we've got a hell of a council to discuss this with. First, representing Europe, straight from the UK, we have Jason Harper. You might know him from his League of Legends column on OnRPG. Why don't you introduce yourself, Jason?
Hello there. I am secretly a robot. This is the truth.
Awesome. Alright, we've got Michael Sagoe representing the East Coast United States. You guys might know him. He's one of the funniest writers we got on the staff. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, I don't think I'm too funny, but yeah, I try to throw a little bit of humor into my articles. Well, basically, I've been here for almost 2 years, and I'm just writing about what I love.
Nice.
2 years.
And then
you're an old man.
He is,
Sorry,
right?
I'm gonna let you continue the introduction. Sorry.
We got James Hunt here, better known as James Blonde. He's our head video editor at OnRPG. He'll be kind of moderating things.
What's up, guys? Yeah, I just got done with finals, and it's starting to play some more games. So, look forward to that.
And then we got a guest speaker on today, Jesse Moore from our parent company, CPM Star. He's a hardcore TERA fan, so he's gonna weigh in on his opinion.
Hi everybody, I don't work on non-RPG much, but I like TERA, so I'll chip in where I can.
Alright guys, so first I just want to get around for people not familiar with the game. What was your impressions when you played TERA?
I liked it. I like the combat. The rest of the game is so, like, stock. Like, you could literally just open up the MMO playbook, and it would just say, and you could just, take that playbook, put it into TERA, and be like, well, we've made a game.
Yeah, pretty much that's my same exact opinion on TERA. The combat is great. The visuals are beautiful, but they seem to half-ass just about everything else. I mean, I'm getting deeper and deeper into the game, and things are just getting more obvious. It's just a lot of things have been done before, and some of the other aspects of the game, it's just so poor. Like the open world PvP seems like a total mess. Like the outlaw system seems to be. There seems to be no no rewards for like overall PvP. The crafting system is incredibly tedious, and it just seems like it has a lot of problems that plague a lot of the theme park MMOs that we have these days. It really feels like a one-trick pony. I just hoping that later on they'll.
To be fair on the game. To be fair on the game, though, you have got to admit that one trick that it does have is damn good. Like, the combat in the game is really solid.
Yeah, Jesse's actually a pretty big fan of the Outlaw. What do you think of the system?
And yeah, I mean, really, what do you play an MMO for? For me, it's combat. It's the PvP, and it's hard to find a game that does that better than TERA. The whole flagging for an Outlaw system, I kind of think it's a pain that I have to give somebody a warning before I attack them, but it's not that much of an inconvenience. I'm liking it.
Oh yeah, I mean, when I was playing it, I got lost in it. And almost like wanted to compare it to a combat, like a dungeon crawler or something like that. Because I felt like I wasn't really playing much of an MMO at first, and then later on, I was like, man, this is really good.
All right, so I'm moving on. There's a big topic this week. I mean, Diablo 3 came out. People are like, oh, everyone's going to leave their current game and go play that. And TERA, they seem to have answered with two things. One of them being throwing in their political system. What do you guys think about their political system? Is it a gimmick? Is it a solid game feature? What's up?
Well, I'd personally say that the main thing is that if you're the sort of person that's really been gagging for Diablo 3, the idea of being like, yeah, hardcore action combat, and then someone turn around to you and saying, well, you could do that in Diablo, or you could be a politician. Like, I don't really see that as being like as a really big draw.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
That makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I think the political, definitely, like everyone's been saying, the political system just seems like thrown in. But it just comes down to how the players just take over with it. I mean, I'm hearing so much. I'm hearing reports that with the upcoming Vanarch elections, players are joining up with other guilds in order to gain a little bit of some trust and alliance with them. But in fact, players are also going into those guilds and emptying out their guild banks so they can fuel their own Van Ark registrations. So there's already like some huge scandals and secrets going on, just like real politics. Yay!
That sounds pretty nice though. That sounds like Eve, and anything that shifts a game closer to Eve is a good thing in my book.
I was actually going to ask, because I think Sagoe has been playing on a role-playing server. It sounds like it's a lot more intense political system on a role-playing server.
Yeah, there's a lot of RP guilds really wanting to do some really good things with the political system. They have some really nice ideas, but it's mostly just going to be a lot of the non-role-playing guilds that are going to have a lot of the voting power there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it might be a little bit of an afterthought, sort of a gimmicky system thrown in, but all the same, anytime you can get player-generated content for a game, I think that's an interesting thing, because I don't pay attention a lot of times to the story that the game writes in, but when you have major guilds vying for power, to me that's player-generated content, and it's just a lot more interesting.
I think that it could pose a hazard in some cases. You know, if somebody can have too much power, you know, I guess it comes down to that, if it's going to be enjoyable or not, because you don't want to have somebody going in there have too much power and ruin, you know, the casual player's game. I mean, I know we should be talking about the casual players, but, you know, you don't want somebody going in there and having way too much power.
Well, speaking of which, I feel like in TERA, the problem is they don't have enough power as compared to other games. I feel like Wakfu is a pretty good example of an MMO that's literally designed around its political system. So they include ecology, they include, like, your crazy like monsters that could only have limited numbers. So what do you guys think? Like a game built around a political system like Wakfu versus TERA where they just throw it in, how does it work?
Well, Wakfu's political system I actually really liked. I played that game for about like 2 months or so, like after it came out. I still keep coming back to it, and it's like a flawed gem. I want it to be better than it actually is. But Wakfu, you can do so much in that game. Like you can control the weather. Like, what sort of politician could genuinely control the weather?
This is ridiculous.
It's like, no, honestly, I was a member of the Bonta Players Unite, represent, and our leader was genuinely campaigning on like, well, I'm going to give you guys really good weather patterns.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm okay with that.
You know, yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, because the whole like ecology thing is really important in Wakfu. Whereas I'm looking through in TERA, it seems like that you get a fair few, like little, like it doesn't seem like you're doing absolutely nothing.
It's not really you get to choose like what's right or wrong for your territory. It's more like I want my people to have this special perk so that they spend more money here and don't go back to Velica to do everything.
It seems more like the new sort of buzz in MMOs where they put in like the guild leveling system. It seems kind of like another mutation on that rather than being Wakfu's system, which is like I guess become a miniature god in your region.
Pretty much.
Sure.
Yeah, it sounds like the Wakfu political system's a lot more involved. I don't think Van Ark and TERA is going to have as much of an impact on the daily lives of your average player, but they do have some interesting powers. Like, as somebody who enjoys PvP, I'm a little concerned about Care Bear guilds coming together and outlawing PvP in the territories that I like to do it in. So that kind of, but at the same time, that makes me care more about the political system and want to be involved in it so that that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sure.
Exactly. Speaking of which, I'm kind of curious how people are going to come together for this system. Like, there's an interesting setup where you can only vote on your account for one guild and one territory on each continent. So if you make allies with other factions to try and like trade votes, you have to run on different continents. And later they're introducing the Exarch system where you can become elected as the head of like your entire continent. But you're going to basically be on a continent with a bunch of factions that you're not allied with. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. What do you guys think?
I mean, you're going to have to appeal to the public rather than just the other powerful factions.
What a concept.
Right?
Yeah, man, it's going to be like you actually have to use real democracy instead of just your little interest groups.
Sure, yeah.
So, the system, as I understand it, you can run for, like, as the ruler of each individual, like, location. But then Can't you actually be the leader of like multiple locations? Wouldn't that give you a bit of an advantage when you're like, who's the continental ruler guy?
Your guild can only control one territory at a time.
Right. Okay.
So yeah,
and there's no like alliances like in Eve.
No, there's no official alliances. You can make makeshift
okay.
ones. It's nothing like set in stone in game.
And the terms are only for like 3 weeks, right? And then you re-election?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Alright, so the last thing I want to end this out on is something I feel pretty passionate about, and that's introducing cash shops into a pay-to-play game. And TERA just did this week. I don't know if you guys saw it, but they basically introduced weapon skins, like race and gender changes. Nothing involving your actual strength in game, still all cosmetics, but, I mean, what do you guys think on this?
No. Never.
No.
No, I think they're gonna bank on it. That's for sure.
A subscription. If you're paying a subscription, adding in a cash shop is just vile, in my opinion. It's like, okay, I am forking over a chunk of my money every month, and that is a guaranteed revenue stream from me that you're doing from the customer. It's like, what, you want more?
It could potentially be the most
Sure.
expensive game ever. In
Yeah,
the long run.
that's exactly what you think. That's exactly what I feel about
So
it.
Jesse
I mean,
jumped in on the first day, so let's hear his thoughts on it.
Yeah, okay, I guess I'm the minority here, but I feel like if you I bought the year subscription for TERA, it works out to $8 a month. That's like 2 cups of coffee. Nobody notices $8 a month. Now, the rest of the things, it doesn't apply to power, in-game power, I mean, and no game is going to create free optional weapon skins that anyone can use. That's sort of just fluff content that they wouldn't dedicate their designers to create. But if it's extra revenue for them, then you get extra little perks that if you're willing to shell over a few dollars, then you can get that kind of thing that just makes you feel cooler, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think that if they're gonna do it, they should definitely do it fair, like what you're saying there, where there's no extra advantage to anybody.
Right,
I mean,
and I can't buy
is
these cosmetic things and then sell them to other players for in-game money. So there's no way it can affect whether I can beat another player.
Yeah, because that's probably bad enough in a free-to-play, much less a pay-to-play. You don't want
Right.
pay-to-play for something to have, to have somebody be able to outdo you just by using their credit card.
Right.
I will concede that if you're going to do a cash shop in a pay mode, essentially, if you're going to pay for anything in any title, in my opinion, like that's on top that gives you an advantage, it should always be like cosmetic. I mean, things like everyone sort of started taking their cues from the skins in League of Legends, and it's really a good business model. People like looking cool, therefore pay money to look cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
Yeah,
it's
my
probably the
issue
least.
Go ahead.
It's probably the least intrusive way they could have done it. Like, oh yeah, just cosmetics. If they go one step further, which I'm not going to be the guy that starts saying gateway drugs and all that kind of nonsense, but but it's when the companies like oh god, what was it? Was it EverQuest 2 that did it? Where they added in that like grossly overpowered armor set that you could only pay money for.
That's ridiculous.
I wouldn't put it past Sony.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think everybody can agree that in a pay-to-play game, nobody wants you to be able to buy power. But if it's strictly cosmetic, I don't see a problem with it.
My last thought on it is I feel like I'm okay with it, but I don't like the fact that they're charging comparable prices to a straight-out free-to-play game. I feel like it should kind of be subsidized. Like, they're like, alright, well, you're already paying this, so we won't charge you quite as much as our competitors are for the same items. The other issue I have with it is they're selling name changes. And on a PvP server like we play on, your reputation is kind of everything. If you walk on the wild side, you have to accept the consequences. And that's like a way to cash shop your way out of trouble. I'm not okay with that.
I agree on the name changes, actually, because everybody, like you say, you build up a reputation around your name, and then if you don't like it, you can just change it. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
Is there any way...
I'm sorry about that.
Is there any way to like track your account? Like a Blizzard tag system
No, they don't have
or whatever.
anything
Like
like that. You can totally.
See, I don't
disappear
know. I
off the
mean,
map.
I don't know if somebody's on my friend list and they change their name, if their new name is automatically added to my friend list. I haven't seen that yet, so that would make it a little less of a pain, because if a well-known player who's known for being a jerk changes his name, then people could still let everyone know who he is. I mean, it would be a little less of a problem, but still an issue.
Alright, well, let's close it out. James, last thoughts?
I think that we're just gonna have to see how it plays out. I mean, the political system, for example. I mean, I'm gonna have to just keep an eye on it, and then I guess my thoughts on the premium cash shops. Just as long as they keep it just cosmetics, then I say it's okay.
Michael, last thoughts?
Well, overall, I think basically it just comes down to how the people make use of that political system. So I'm hoping that, just like with the secrets and scandals of people stealing money from their guild banks, hope they'll really take it further. And with the premium shop, I really think they're jumping the gun by adding a premium shop. I don't have a problem with the services, with adding such services in cosmetics, but I think they really should focus on giving us more content before releasing that. Because I mean, come on, NMAS, you're not Blizzard or anything like that. You can't do that. And with the skins, though, I think the skins should have been free or at least cheaper. Because I hear that Frogster EU is giving out those same weapon skins for free if you purchase the game from them directly. And another idea I thought of with those skins, because I mean we're also getting dragon skins for free next month. And I was wondering, why are we getting those for free and not these? And I'm thinking that maybe each month we should get weapon skins for free as a thank you for staying subscribed. And every other month, they can sell the old skins at a lower price for everyone that just jumped in after the distribution period.
That's a good idea.
And mass hire this man. Jason, last thoughts?
I'm still stuck on Wakfu. I actually think I'm wondering if I got like ability to play that game again. The one thing I will say is the one kind of thing on all this is usually when you see these sorts of free-to-play cash shop stuff sort of starting to creep into a game, that usually means they're not making enough money to cover their losses. Like they're actually trying to desperately look for ways to cut in a profit. Like you don't usually see it in successful things. I mean, like World of Warcraft is probably the exception, but then again, that also only cropped up when their numbers began to drop and Blizzard started getting scared. So I'm actually concerned about that, not from a like moral standpoint, but more from a oh god, I actually kind of like TERA, and despite the fact that I didn't get it myself, I like the game, and I really think, oh crap, does that mean it's not doing very well?
There you have it. Jesse is supporting the game he loves. Alright, last thoughts, Jesse? Close us out.
I mean, I love the combat system. I think the political system, even though it might be a bit of a gimmick, adds an interesting dynamic to the game without being too intrusive on players. And I don't have a problem with cosmetics. I think if they give them out for free every month, then it kind of takes away what's special about it. I mean, people don't even necessarily buy skins because they're better looking all the time so much as they're different. They want to stand out. So I think giving them away for free would take away from what they are.
Alright, sounds good. OnRPG viewers, thank you for tuning in, checking out our first podcast. If you want to leave a comment below and let us know what you want us to talk about in the future. We're probably going to do this again in a month from now, so you can look forward to that. Everyone say goodbye to our viewers.
Goodbye!
See you out there, gamers.
Yep, later.